It's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on livehiphopdaily.tv. And this episode is sponsored by Cannabis Clothing. Cannabis, Drug Lords, and our Return to Vipers collections are all available now at cannabisclothing.com. Head to the store and shop today. So I got a super dope guest in the building. You know, normally it's a super rarity when I can have somebody who's not in Atlanta on the show. It's almost like a coordinated effort we'd have to do. But I lucked out and just happened to be stalking your Instagram. Saw that you was in town. And like I say, I have a great guest in town in the studio tonight. I'm very can't wait to get to this conversation started. So without further ado, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Nicole Callier, aka Terpene Trap Queen, and I am a creative journalist.
Yeah. Let's salute you for having one of the better Instagram names too. Terpene Trap Queen is like brand that.
Right. I need to definitely get that incorporated.
Factuals, man. Well, thank you for coming by tonight. It really was a real chance opportunity that I had to have you live and in studio. So I would like to get a little briefing about who you are before we do get started. So talk to us about your, I guess, basically your journalism background. Like, you know, just give people a little list of some of the outlets you've written for and some of the things you've done in the cannabis space.
Yeah, so I've written from everywhere from Leafly to Mary Jane, Snoop's platform, Mary Jane, been featured on The Root, Thrillist, various media publications, and got started really doing the journalism thing like right out of college. So from Seattle, went to school out there. Right after college, I got an internship at Leafly and started writing from them, and that's just how everything else kind of came into play. Word,
man. So so the journalism bug hit you pretty early?
It did. So I have a communications degree, so that's what I studied in school. I was gonna do journalism. I had like second thoughts about it. I was like, y'all were trying to tell me what to say a little bit. I thought it was too like political.
Yo, and the check wasn't good.
You know what I'm saying?
And the check was not gonna be
good. But
good.
It's crazy because I did terrible in my journalism classes in college. So it's just crazy that that's kind of what I stuck with and continued to do.
Yeah, I did too as well. You know, like I knew. Like I told my mom, I probably knew when I was in middle school I wanted to be a writer. It just didn't make sense to anybody else, especially being a black kid growing up. If you tell somebody you want to be a writer, they're gonna look at you like, you mean music? And you say, like, nah, I just want to be a journalist. Then they look at you and say, get a real job. You know what I mean? So, but I knew early that I wanted to be a writer, and it was around college that I kind of discovered my voice, what I feel like is who I am even currently.
Right.
How long did it take for you to kind of find your voice? You know, saying that the person who is Nicole Callier, like, how long did it take for you to find that voice?
It took me a while. It took me a long time, and I feel like I'm still finding my voice. You know, I feel like that's a constant journey, but I feel like as a child, I was like more soft-spoken and shy, and I feel like just with age, I like came into my own, and like definitely I would say probably like high school, like 17, 16, like definitely like have my own groove, my own style, and then from there just have continued to like just carve my own lane and figure myself out day to day. But it's a constant evolution.
So when you did realize that you did want to write, was the first thing cannabis, or what was your first I guess genre to jump into?
Yeah, so like in college I had an internship for like the city, so that's like the first opportunity I had with writing. But I would say I did like a communications internship, and I was like writing for the city. So we're like writing articles for like their city publication.
And this is Seattle.
This was actually, it was like a city outside of Seattle. So it was called Burien, that's the name of the city. So I wrote for their like quarterly magazine, and it was just random, but I actually like submitted some work from them to Leafly, and that's how I got their attention. So it was like totally like outside of the cannabis industry, but definitely got me into that.
That's crazy, you know, and I feel you because it's one of them similar stories. Like I started off in hip hop, like there was no thought in my mind about doing nothing. Matter of fact, when you say the cannabis industry, even now it's still kind of funny to me that I say this is an industry, but I had no clue I wanted to do this. It started off in hip hop first, like that got me into this where we at currently. So it's crazy how people get there, how people get to where we are right now in the weed life. So now you are in the weed life.
Right. It's my lifestyle.
Yeah, this is 100% lifestyle, man. How did you get into the lifestyle in the first place though? Like when did we get to you?
So I definitely first started smoking like in high school. Like I have family members that smoke. It was never like pushed on me or anything like that, but it's definitely something that's always been like, you know, not casual, but like something that my family's like embraced for whether it's like medical reasons or just like just part of like where they're from. Like my mom's from Oakland, you know, so it's part of like the culture out there, the Bay.
That's what's up, man. So have you ever thought about why you smoke?
I mean, I definitely think I smoke for like socially for sure, but I definitely smoke for like medicinal reasons. If I'm feeling stressed out, if I'm feeling down, weed just makes me feel good. Like it just does. It makes me feel good. Like I feel good.
There's nothing wrong with that. Weed should make you feel good. I mean, matter of fact, that's like the tagline for weed. Like weed, it makes you feel good.
It makes me feel good. I don't feel bad after I smoke usually. You know, if I don't smoke, I don't have like withdrawals. You know what I'm saying? Like I just came out here from Seattle. I've been smoking, but like, you know, like the week or, you know, week and a half that I wasn't smoking, it wasn't like I was feeling crazy. So I just feel like for me, it's definitely like my medicine of choice.
Got it.
And it just it's just the chemistry in my body, my lineage. It feels good and it feels right for me. But that's me personally. It's not going to be the same for everyone.
No, of course not. You know, the experience of weed is different for everybody. It's just one of them things. You know what I mean? Like I know when I first started smoking weed, it was totally it was almost like a dare. You know what I mean? Like it was almost like a dare. And I almost don't even want to embarrass you because I know I was smoking really good Reggie, and I'm pretty sure you were smoking really good weed when you first started smoking weed.
Yeah, you know, Seattle, it's not like I'm gonna have like, you know, bad weed, but you know, we're kind of bougie out there when it comes
they are bougie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They will talk shit about your weed out there, man.
Yeah, we will.
So you eventually moved into you eventually took your skill set, you moved it into the cannabis space, thanks to your opportunity with Leafly. What's it been like in that space so far? Like, talk to us about contributing to everyone from Dope to Mary Jane. Like, what has that experience been so far as far as working with them?
It's been fulfilling, but it's definitely like a freelance life. So you're on the hustle, you're constantly reaching out, you're trying to build your network. Yeah. You know, you're pitching ideas. It might not always get those yeses or those, you know, those responses that you want. So it's definitely a grind. But I just think with like the journalism and freelancing, like it's something that you can create your own schedule and things like that.
Yeah. So actually, you led me into one of the questions I wanted to ask you about. You started off when you talk about constantly pitching. Like I know that life. What's it like pitching? You know, let me preface this first. Cannabis is a white space. Cannabis is a white-owned space. We know this. Like, a matter of fact, it's so white. I'm so sick of hearing people tell how small the number is of black people. Like 1%. You don't even say it. Just say we're not there.
Exactly.
But we're really not there when it comes to media. And I've noticed that myself. You know, it really hit me. I mean, when I was doing The Color Green, I knew that there wasn't a lot of black people involved in that just yet. But it really slapped me in the face when I started going to MJ BizCon. And I got my media pass, and you walk in.
Last year?
Or
last year?
I was in Vegas. I was in New Orleans, and when we pull up, I swear every single time I'm always shocked for some reason that I am the lone black person in this room. Or the first time I went, there was 3 of us, and we both joked about how if one didn't show up, there'd only be 2 or there'd only be 1 because they came as a pair. You know what I mean? So speak to us about being a black woman in this cannabis space, trying to be in media. Like what is your experience like as a black woman working with these white outlets and trying to pitch black stories to white outlets?
I feel like that's what really got me into my lane of focusing more on our stories, like POC, Black and Latino, just our stories, and like, because I felt like there wasn't a lane for that. Yeah. Like in the outlets that I was writing for and contributing to, it wasn't necessarily a lot of like black writers or contributors in the first place, and there definitely weren't highlighting like black entrepreneurs or creatives in the cannabis space. So I just felt like there was a whole lane to just really delve into and start covering that. So that's kind of how LegalTrappin came about, and that's why a lot of my work does focus on just different platforms as well. And you know, I also write for Estro Hayes, so I didn't mention them in the beginning, but that's definitely a platform that is centered around highlighting women and people of color as well in the cannabis space. So the opportunity to write for them was like perfect timing, and definitely allowed me to not only connect with a lot of the, you know, black and brown people that we see moving and shaking in the industry, which has helped me a lot in my network. But it really just carved a lane and like really showed me that this is like kind of where I want my focus to be if I am going to be in the industry. Yeah,
and I feel like you're in a great space because I'm glad you mentioned Estro Hayes. Shout out to Weed, Wine, and Weave as well. Yes. I love seeing so many black women take a place in front of the mic and behind the mic when it comes to this. Media to me has always been something that's part of my heart. I totally understand that representation matters. I totally understand that if there's no black people in any of these editorial rooms, there's not going to be black stories on this outlet, period.
Right.
So it's dope to see that people are that we're taking taking control of that, especially Black women. Seeing outlets like Estro Hayes, how much has that inspired you as far as watching them create their platform and watching them kind of build that up?
It's definitely inspired me. Like, I'm very close with all of them. You know, I still communicate with them. I've been working with them for a few years, you know, and like have really, just created dope content with them, you know. So I'm very proud of like the work and that the legacy that they're creating, and proud to really have contribute to that. Yeah.
You know, one thing I've been able to contribute to a lot of places, from XXL to Slam. I haven't had to face a lot of pitches when it comes to dealing in this space. From Mary Jane's to none of them, I never had to pitch to any of them.
Right.
I wondered what it's like to pitch to that. Like, have you ever thought to yourself, what I'm about to pitch to might be too Black?
I've done that before.
Okay.
And you feel me? I can give you like instances where I know, like, you know, my intentions were good, pure. I wanted to tell our story, but they were like, "Ooh, Nicole, this is a little too much.
This is black.
This is too, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if we can run this." Or I might put something and the words are changed, and I'm like, hold up, sis. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to own our own stories, and like be able to be on platforms where it's like we can be unapologetically ourselves, because we have gatekeepers in media and in everything, politics, you know. So it's all about like just creating our own platform, because the truth sometimes will never be revealed unless we're, you know, doing that on our responsible for that.
And for anybody watching, you know, again, you should, if you're new to Cash Color Cannabis, there's a lot of stage direction going on, because a lot of stuff happens. People call during the show. I get text messages. A lot of stuff just happens around here.
What I'm saying? That's how it is, though.
But I've always thought about that, like, because again, I've never had to do that, but I see my own content and I see myself, and I'm like, I can see me getting denied a whole lot over here trying to pitch stories like constantly.
That's just how it is, though. I feel like that builds, you know, your character, tough skin.
Yeah.
Also work in sales, so it's like I hear no all the time. Like, you just got to get used to that if you want to get to, you know, be where you want to be. It's a mindset thing. Yeah.
So you legal trapping now?
I'm legal trapping.
What the hell is legal trapping?
Legal trapping is a lifestyle. Legal trapping is a platform catered to young Black entrepreneurs who are interested in the cannabis and hemp industries, want to hear from other people that look like them who are currently involved in the industry, whether that's through interviews, pop-up events, but it's all about just embracing the lifestyle. Like, we created this, trapping, you know, there's become a negative connotation, and I think when you think of like the cannabis industry, I think of like generational wealth, and I think of just putting a spin on it. So legal trapping is all about not even being in the cannabis industry, but like just, you know, the hustle, the grind, like putting your energy and efforts into, you know, building something that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah, and you've done a good job. I know that you've had a chance to do a couple of interviews so far. Who have been your favorite interviews so far as on the legal trapping side?
Ooh, I've interviewed a few people. I would say my favorite, I went to MJ BizCon.
Yeah. How did I miss you?
I don't know how we missed each other. I feel like I missed a lot in MJ BizCon because it was just so much going on.
Yeah, especially Vegas. It was so big.
It was my first time. I was like, whoa, you know, but it was cool. But some of my favorite, I mean, it's always good talking to my boy Shayun from out of Portland in Massachusetts. Yeah. So, our conversations are always dope. He always drops gems.
He dresses fly too, man. Like
he's a fly guy.
Boy, he puts a lot of work into that, man. I was like, sheesh, she needs to sell clothes.
He's a fly guy. He's a real genuine dude, though. Like, he's a sweet soul. You know what I mean? Word. So it's always good catching up with him. It's always good catching up with Mary Pryor. I talked to her. So yeah, it's always good talking to those people who are always gonna like keep it real with you and like give you some real game. So definitely, yeah. I mean, I interview, like, I talk to a lot of people. So I'm not gonna say I have like favorite interviews, because from everyone that I've talked to, whether it's, you know, my own legal trapping interviews or just like interviews for articles, I always learn something. And I feel like part of my knowledge and like how I've been able to evolve in this industry is just the fact that, like, being a journalist, I can reach out and just like have a whole deep conversation with you and like pick up so much game. Yeah. And like that's why my network is like kind of crazy, just based on the journalism. So I think for people who are looking to get into it, like, maybe you're not thinking of like journalism, but like if you're looking to build your network, people are always gonna be down to chop game and talk about themselves. So like that was my methodical way, like, you know what I mean? So
that's actually a gem she just dropped on y'all.
I just dropped a gem on
People
y'all.
love talking about themselves.
They do.
Man, it's like you'll learn that quickly. Like you put a mic in front of somebody and they'll tell you their whole entire story.
Yeah, you build that relationship, and it's like a reciprocal service. Like you're not just asking them for a favor. You're like, I can, tell your story. I think you build real relationships where it's like transactional on both sides. Like people are, receiving something both ways from it.
How long do you see that we think that Legal Trap is going to be a rival for, say, a High Times, Mary Jane, even a Cash Color Cannabis? Like when y'all going to be up here and just be smacking us in the face?
Man, I feel like it's coming soon.
Yeah.
It's definitely coming soon. Like, I feel like the timing's right. I feel like it's just been about building. Like the past 3 or 4 years for me, it's been about building not only my network, but my portfolio, like being able to just kind of stand on my own with my work and be able to like be proud of like what I've done not only for like just cannabis culture, but like for the people that I've written about.
Yeah.
Like PR is crazy. I feel like it's helped a lot of people, and I'm happy to say that I've contributed to that.
Yeah, and again, I totally feel like the media, and I think it's a conversation we don't have enough. When we talk about getting people of color, black people in general, into this space, we need more people like yourself. I think that we need more. It's not just a Cash Color Cannabis thing. We need more of these popping up across the country, because that's the best way to get people involved. Like, it's the second reason why I brought out the big Ebonies. Like, I grew up reading Ebonies and Jets and all those. It's like, it took me forever to realize what Forbes was, to be honest with you, because I had Black Enterprise. And I think that we need to get to that space where it's less about trying to go and pitch a story that's totally black centered to High Times, and then some versus we gotta get to the point where people are coming to pitch you that story, or coming to pitch Cash Color Canvas that story, and stop trying to run around that circle of we need to get this type of level of acceptance from people.
Right. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people, they want to be in the big name publication. I think that's fine. Of course, for like PR, you want to have a large audience, but you also want to target who your consumer base is going to be. And that's not necessarily the people that are going to be supporting you. The people that are going to be supporting you are tuned in right now, people that are supporting you, following you on Instagram, like, yeah, so people got to get that. That's a whole nother, that's a mindset thing. Yeah. Like,
yeah, well, we going to get out that mindset as far as I'm concerned in this space, because and again, it's about the respect for the media. I feel like we done thrown around the term lamestream media and fake news so much that you don't respect actual media.
Right.
And we need to, we need more views. We need more of this happening so people can understand that, no, this is real. This is a real job, and we take this really serious, and we're trying to tell real stories out here, not just trying to give you quick sound bites and quick, saying like just little quick shits you could digest real quick.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm very impressed. I want to see LegalTrappin become something big. I want to see you booming with trap houses all across the country.
Yes, legal trap houses all across the country.
Facts.
Yeah, that's the idea. The ideal would be to like definitely have people who were previously incarcerated for cannabis, like just employ them and create real opportunities. Yeah. And I think it's all about, like I said, generational wealth is like big for me, and just doing things that empower not only ourselves but the people around us. And I feel like, this cannabis and hemp is definitely an industry where we can heal in so many different ways. Yeah.
Is there anybody you haven't interviewed that you want to speak to?
There's a lot of people. Like, I definitely want to interview like the Whoopi Goldbergs who are doing cannabis. I would love to interview just a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of names. Like, I would love to interview Jay-Z. Like, what's up with, your cannabis ventures? I'd love to interview tons of people.
I feel like me and Wiz Khalifa are long overdue.
Wiz.
I think me and Wiz should have been happening.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many people that I haven't interviewed that I would like to interview.
Yeah. So we gonna get you down here in Atlanta full time, or what's that like?
I'm trying to make that transition. I grew up in Georgia. Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna say Atlanta. I used to live in Marietta.
She said I'm not gonna.
I'm not about to false claim on y'all real quick.
That's funny.
You know, so I used to stay in Marietta, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a vibe and a different energy out here compared to Seattle. And I think LegalTrappin would just fit so perfectly out here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, the brand, be a lot of support, I think.
Yeah, definitely would, man. We got a lot of space for a lot of trap houses out here, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's figure out how we could capitalize off of this legally.
I feel you. So where do we see? Where you think we're gonna see you in 10 years?
In 10 years.
In 10 years. In this decade, where are we gonna see you going into the next decade?
Ooh. Okay, so I'm definitely on my entrepreneur-ish. So you'll see me definitely doing some stuff in the cannabis space. Maybe owning a PR, media, some type of something like that. Definitely doing something with like real estate and cannabis. I'm interested in that.
Oh, that's real money.
You know what I'm saying? Whether that's commercial real estate. But yeah, I'm trying to really generational wealth. I'm gonna drop that again. So real estate and cannabis, that has my mind twirling right now, how that's gonna fit. Yeah, I just see me, you know, 10 years being fulfilled, hopefully happy, you know, great people around me, but really on my business-ish and really like running things, whether it's like my own cannabis ventures or otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I think it's dope. I think you have the ability to do all that, and I feel like you're going to be a great gateway to other people, you know what I'm saying, coming into space and feeling like, yeah, I could be a journalist, and yeah, I can do this, and I already smoke weed, you know what I'm saying? Let me make this lifestyle into something else. So I'm definitely a fan. I think it's dope. Before we get out of here, can you tell people how they can find you on social media if they want to contact you, even if they wanted to pitch you a story?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at Terpene Trap Queen. That's TERPENE Trap Queen. You can follow LegalTrappin 101. You can check out my work at NicoleCallier.com. That's NicollelCallier. So double L's on y'all.
Yeah.
.com.
Facts, yeah, facts. Double L's on y'all. Double L.
And yeah, just check me out. You know what I'm saying? Support. But you can reach out to me, lastname.nicole@gmail.com. I'll definitely always down to help, always down to connect folk. That's what it's about.
That's what's up. Also, I didn't get a chance to shout this out, but the Jays, man.
Oh, you know I had to flex on them.
Like, did you see the Jays? Like,
I had to flex on them.
What? She pulled the shoes out. She made me feel bad. I was like, I thought I had the clean joints today.
Me and Virgil real cool.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love those.
Oh, and my shirt though.
Oh yeah, I forgot she got to return them. Let me do like, I'm not even yelling out my own brand. Yeah, she rocking Atlantis clothing today too.
Yes, with the off-white.
She's all in trend. She's all on trend right now. Nicole, thank you so much for coming through. It's really a blessing to have you. Hopefully we can have you as part of Cash Color Campus one day, man. I'd love to have you contribute a story or some stuff we working on.
You know, I did a little piece with me and Tiana co-wrote something.
Oh yeah, you sure did. Yeah.
So, you know,
Tiana's the homie, man.
I love her too. She's in her real estate and cannabis vibe too.
Yes, I gotta do a Tiana real quick.
I don't think, but you know,
gotta do a Tiana before I leave. Yes. Tiana came through here. Her and Sister Rogers came through here last year, just yassing all over the place.
Shout out to both of them. See, that's what I'm saying. It's all about the connects.
Facts, man. Well, I thank you very much for coming through. Definitely kick it with us. We got another interview coming through.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick around.
Stick around, please. It's Tuesday Night Live. It's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on livehip-hopdaily.tv.